So as our longtime listeners know, and for the new listeners to learn, we moved here to Las Vegas 3.5 years ago.
I can't believe it's already been 3.5 years.
I know, right? It went by fast.
Crazy.
When you think about it, we've lived here longer than we lived together in Cyprus. We only lived in Cyprus for 2 years.
Oh, Villa Creek? Yeah, it was like 2 years and 2 months or something like that. It at least would have been up in March.
The longest place we've lived together. And in another year and a half, it'll be the longest place we live together. It's crazy, right? Like, it's just crazy. I wanted to talk today, tell people what it's like to live here in Vegas. People ask the question all the time. When I interview people for my technology show, Gaining the Technology Leadership Edge, they continually ask me, like, what's it like living in Vegas? Do you like it there? It must be hot as hell. Today, we're going to dispel some myths. We're going to confirm some other myths and just give you a general overview of what it's like to live here in Las Vegas.
It's literally hot as hell. 3.5 months out of the year.
But why did we pick Vegas?
We made a checklist. So we decided 3 places that we might be interested in moving.
Hold on a second. Before that, we agreed we would move from California because it was stressing you out. You're used to a smaller town atmosphere and feeling, and it was stressing you out. Too many people.
And it was horrifyingly overpriced.
It was expensive.
So anyway, we picked 3 places. We picked Denver, we picked Flagstaff, and we picked Vegas.
Okay.
And then we went to all 3 places. We went to Denver first, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Denver first. We went for my birthday because I wanted snow for my birthday. And overall, Denver was...
No, actually, we went to Flagstaff first, then Denver. Because we went to Denver in December, we went to Flagstaff in August. Because then the next year after Denver was pandemic.
I'm going to finish talking about Denver since you already told me that that's where we went first.
Just saying, we went to Denver second.
Anyway, I wanted snow for my birthday. And there was snow. But basically, it was like little Los Angeles.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Bit more outdoorsy things to do there than in California.
It sits dead. I've been more and more glad that we did not pick Denver.
Yeah.
Because people have gone nuts there.
When you hear about the politics going on there and the way the city's run and all the problems they have and how expensive it's getting.
And then we looked at Flagstaff because overall Arizona was a little bit of a no, but Flagstaff seemed a little bit more reasonable. And then we got there and we realized that it was all college students and old people.
Yeah.
Neither one of which we are.
I would have fit in.
No, 85-year-olds.
They were
college
really old.
students and really old people. What a weird mix.
It was a weird place. Like when I was waiting for you guys the one day out in the parking lot of the hotel, waiting for you guys to come down, someone asked me where were all the hot chicks at.
NAU.
That's what I told them. Probably over at the university. Head over there.
But it was August, so probably not.
But
very many
ridiculous. And like, it was a nice town. Don't get me wrong.
It was
Houses
a beautiful
were nice.
place to visit.
Super close to the Grand
And
Canyon.
we got to lay eyes on Cody Brown himself from Sister Wives.
Yeah. But
that was interesting.
like thing was there's no Costco, but within a 2-hour drive one way.
It's been like 5 years and he's still on about this Costco.
Although now that Costco delivers, which they're smart to do, you could have just had it delivered. It wouldn't matter. But it just wasn't a place for us.
No, because there was nobody there. And I say this in a hilarious way because my friends right now are like over 70, all of them. Anyway, there was nobody in the middle. It was uncomfortable. There would be nobody for us to hang out with. Nobody we'd have anything in common with.
And before we get on to the visiting Las Vegas and how we ended up choosing here, I'm going to tell people we were nerdy and we created a spreadsheet. And then she had a copy that I didn't have access to. And I had a copy she didn't have access to.
Basically, right when we came back from Denver.
And we created like we talked about the areas that were important to us. And when we rated them on a 5 scale. And then we put our averages together, and the place with the highest average is what won. So the winner, of course, was Las Vegas. But even then, we came back here multiple times. We looked at houses here like 3 different times.
We just wanted to get a feel for what this place was like.
And even then, when you think about it, where we would have purchased a home would not be where we would ultimately like to live.
Absolutely not.
And yet we wouldn't have known that.
We looked at Inspirata and Enterprise on the south side of the city almost exclusively.
And then we looked at the place over here.
which
And
was
even that one we wouldn't want to live at.
the exact same house we liked from Inspirata,
Yeah.
but north.
And cheaper.
And now we've decided we probably don't want to live in something new
Right.
because they don't have yards.
Right. It's too small.
And we have a Saris, and she likes to run.
So that's the why. That's how we got here. And I think the reason we chose Vegas is that it was close to my kids. It's close to your dad by airplane ride. There's plenty of flights back and forth. It
And
had
honestly,
lots of...
even if I had to drive to my dad from here, it's less than a day.
Yeah. And here's the thing. You had less traffic overall, less people overall, cheaper prices overall, much cheaper housing prices, much cheaper, and no state income tax.
The only aspect where Vegas lost, at least on my list, was the weather. Everything else, it was drastically higher than everything else. And the weather, I was like a 6.
I tell people this all the time, and nobody believes me until they go look it up themselves. But if you use one of those weather sites that tells you the average temperature by month of an area, and you compare where we lived in Orange County to here, it's only 2 degrees difference. That is crazy to me.
But that doesn't change the fact that 3.5 months you're living on the face of the sun. I can deal with it.
It gets pretty hot here. So let's talk about what we don't like about here first, instead of
people
what we do like
and
about
their
here. Driving. I think that most of the people here are nice.
The people and
But
their
I
drive.
think, I
all
think
is
the
one
ones
thing.
that when they drive, you're right, they go insane. The other day, we had to go somewhere down by the strip, and it was early evening,
It was
and-
like 5:15.
and I was having trouble, so she was driving. And we get off, and we're on Tropicana, which is like the main street from the airport. We were heading towards the airport, and she's waiting
To turn onto
to
the strip.
turn onto the strip. And as the light turns green, this car sweeps from the right of her and just cuts her off.
Yeah.
They don't care.
And I'll tell you, it's not like it was super trafficky. There was only one car behind me, and then the lane was completely empty. This dumb hoe bag could have easily gone in there, but no, they had to cut in front of me and act like a jackhole. Also, that one day when I was coming back from the doctor, I almost got T-boned by a Bud Light van who ran the red light.
They drive as though they're the only people on the road. And that's awful. I mean,
You're on the freeway, and they'll like roar around you, and then they'll cut right in front of you. And
then I would say the
lunatics.
transient nature of the people here is a negative for me because you can't make friends.
right, you have to pick people who are firmly rooted,
Natives.
or people who've been here.
And there
for
are
like
very
10
few of
years.
those. And there are very few of those.
Right.
Then you got the weather. You already mentioned the weather. It does get hot as balls here sometimes.
I like 8 months of the year weather-wise here. And I'm pretty sure I only 2 months of the year weather-wise in California.
Yeah, the weather here is beautiful most of the year.
Right. Like 80s at most.
And then it'll be like, it hovers around 40 degrees a lot of the year. And that sounds like freezing cold, but it really isn't. Because again, it's funny when you talk about the dry heat. How about the dry cold? It's not as cold. It doesn't feel as cold.
Unless it's windy.
Unless it's windy, then it cuts through you. But that's another negative, is that I would say, I hate to say it, but I'd say the tourists are a negative.
Overall, like I'm pretty sure that car that cut in front of me was a tourist.
They jack the prices up on everything because of the
Right.
tourists.
Though, that tide appears to be changing.
Yeah, they need to do 2 things, if you ask me. They need to be more enticing to the tourists, but they also need to give the locals the kind of deals they used to give the locals. Like, back in the day, if you were a local and you had the driver's license, you'd go to Carved Steakhouse, 50% off. You're a local.
Yeah.
And it just makes sense. You want to attract people to your fancy schmancy strip restaurant.
When the tourists
Weren't here.
There's definitely like the steakhouse in the Ahern. They have locals night.
Yeah, and it's, believe it or not, guys, Friday night is locals night. I love that they do that.
They're an off-strip hotel.
And it's awesome, though, because you could go out on a date night. You could go have dinner and go somewhere. Literally, you could have dinner there and then go to Fremont Street,
Totally.
watch a show.
Totally.
And it would take you 10 minutes from dinner to the show. Like, it's awesome. But is there anything else that you don't like about here?
I don't think so.
I think a lot of the people are whiny.
There's the people that they exist everywhere, but because there aren't a lot of locals, it feels like there's more of them that like to whine about the ballpark. And they liked, I have Facts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
those
it
people.
just drives you nuts. They whine and whine about the silliest things. Although one place I'll give them respect over California people, I was having an argument slash discussion with somebody about the ballpark, and I made a point, and I won, like, I was right. And they literally said to me, "You're right, but it still doesn't change my mind. I still don't think that they should get the public funding." And I was like, massive respect to you. You admitted that your point was wrong, and you're still not changing your mind. Ain't nothing wrong with not changing your mind.
I feel like I have to tell everybody the thing I like most about living in Nevada.
Well, living in Nevada, the thing you like most. So we're going to switch to the things we like most now. Okay, cool. Go for it.
Yeah. I think the thing I like most about living in Nevada is that it's a politically purple state. And I do not tell people what I feel politically, but living somewhere that's politically purple is exponentially more comfortable when you're not a crazy extremist in either direction.
We've talked many times on this show that extremes of any kind are bad. I don't care if you're right leaning. Extreme right leaning is a bad thing. If you're left leaning, extreme left leaning is a bad thing. It doesn't, just because they somewhat agree with you, doesn't make them a good thing. I think having a purple state is like the opposite of that. It's like the perfect thing because it's like really trying to make everybody feel represented.
There's things that are right leaning, there's things that are left leaning. You may not agree with all of them, but it's a very comfortable existence to live somewhere purple.
Okay, I'm going to give you some examples of that. You go down to Fremont Street, and on any given Saturday night or Friday night, you will find two rather bodacious women with a United States flag painted on their naked body, with vague ass on their ass. And they're painted, and they're buck naked.
They have a thong.
But that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
They're naked otherwise. And they're out there, and it's okay. The religious people hate it, but it's okay.
Later, there'll be that dude screaming about Jesus.
But also,
coexist perfectly.
But also, they have the rules about the alcohol. Yeah, you can walk around and people have this misconception about Vegas is drink anywhere you want. You can, but you can't have anything but plastic containers on the strip and only plastic containers on Fremont Street. And Fremont Street is worse than the strip. If you go to Fremont Street and you buy a plastic container drink and then go to the strip, you can drink it. But if you do the reverse, you can't. Fremont Street only allows Fremont Street alcohol.
I think they're a little bit more chill about it, but that is their overall rule.
I don't think they enforce the shit.
Had one of those big old giant yard cups from the strip, they're not going to care.
Especially since most of them are branded the same way. But the point being that the rules kind of balance each other out.
I don't know. I think it's the best part of living here is that it's politically purple.
But for me, I'm going to say that
And
as a person that is at retirement age, I enjoy the slower pace of life here, that people aren't always rush, hurry, hurry, run. Yeah, on some things like when you have a medical issue and you're trying to deal with something and they take freaking forever to call you back, that's annoying. But at the same time, it's a side effect of the kind of mellow attitude here.
It's not like we live in Jamaica. They're not.
Right. But I like it. I like that a lot. But I also like the close proximity to entertainment. And I'm talking all kinds of fucking entertainment. We have a thing called house seats that we can get 4 tickets to whatever they list on there. And people say, oh, it's just crap. It's just crap. Probably most of the time it is the low-level shows. But every once in a while, Carrot Top will be on there.
Almost every week.
And it's because they have nights that are slower. And they want to fill the seats.
Right.
Because that sells alcohol and food and whatnot. So they bring your ass in there. But I love that. And I like that. We used to do it more when we first came here because I think it was like the honeymoon period. But like going to Fremont Street to watch bands play, it's just a fun time to get out of the house. And I want to make right now, I want to make I don't know what the word is, pact to when the weather cools off, that we make a concerted effort to go down there at least once a month when the weather's cool. Because I agree with you that so 8 months out of the year we could go down there, and the rest of the time we don't go down there. And it doesn't have to be a rule that it's once a month, but we try to make it once a month. At the end of
this, because we're going to go to those 2 free concerts at the end of the month.
Yeah, and there you go. So that's the thing. What I like about this place is that in world-class food, like the food here is outrageous what you can get.
And apparently you cannot get Mongolian barbecue here.
We've talked about that. And you're over here where we are, and it's very residential and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so we're not in the midst of tourist hell.
No, they rarely come over here because the odd tourist will stay at the cannery, but they rarely come over here.
Those are the things that I personally like here. I like where we live, our location. I like it a lot. I like our park. I like that we have a park.
Yep. I like that we live close to a locals event park.
Yes. Like quite literally, if parking was a zoo over there, we could walk.
Yeah. Or we could take the most shameful Uber in the universe.
Don't get the blog. It's not that bad. But no, like I noticed something as well that these guys are reminding me. Our animals like it better here.
They have a lot more freedom. The cats have 500 extra square feet of space to roam around in. Can you imagine, in either apartment we had in California, how awful it would be to have to keep one cat in a bedroom all the time?
Yeah. Yeah.
It would have been awful. The cat would have had to be in our bedroom,
Yeah.
and she's annoying.
That's a story for another day. But the point is, they act differently here.
They get so much more
The cat
exercise.
you're mentioning, much friendlier since we moved here. And it's not like we didn't have her for 5 years prior to that.
We picked her up in 2016.
So had her for 7 years before we moved here. And she didn't act as nice as she does now. She
No.
just likes it here. They all like
She
it.
has more space. And Bree, she gets exercise every single day here.
Lots of it. She only got it on weekends there because we couldn't take the time to put her in the car, drive her
We're
all
in
the
there
way.
with high schoolers in her park. You know how high schoolers are.
But one thing that I was thinking about was I think we're happier here, which makes them happier.
Yeah. This cat is attacking you right now.
That's because Bree is playing with her. And so now she's all frisked up, the cat. But that's what happens when the cat gets frisky and the dog gets frisky. But anyway, guys,
We love it
the
here.
one thing that I
Moral
want to
story.
say that I do miss about California is just my kids. That's it. I don't miss anything else about California. I wasn't a beach person. Who the hell cares that there's no beach?
You know what Yogi misses? Dog Beach.
Yeah. That's a place he can go sometime, though.
We should take him there.
So
One time we get an Airbnb,
that's all I got for you, bro.
take him to Dog Beach, because then he can have a BATH after.
Yep. That's all I got for you, bro.
Well,
Living in Las Vegas, thumbs up.
good night, everyone.
Hasta la bye-bye, Las Vegas.